The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens by Sean Covey. Picture this: a talented college football player, recruited by one of the nation's top programs, living the dream that thousands of kids fantasize about. But here's the twist. Something's off. He's going through the motions like a zombie. Third-string quarterback with a front-row seat to mediocrity. Then one day, his coach corners him. The conversation is brutally honest. "What's going on with you?" the coach demands. "You're letting me down. Get it together, or these younger guys will blow right past you. You'll never see the field." Ouch. Truth bombs hurt, especially when they land dead center. The young man knew his coach was right. He was terrified of the competition, of the spotlight, of giving everything he had and still coming up short. So he stood at a crossroads: quit or go all in. For weeks he wrestled with his demons in the privacy of his own mind, where nobody could see the battle raging inside. Finally, in that quiet internal space, he made his choice. No more holding back, no more playing it safe. He decided to put everything on the line. And that's when everything shifted. He started taking risks on the field, making dramatic improvements. The coaches couldn't help but notice. Then, mid-season, right before the biggest game of the year, 65,000 screaming fans, national television audience, the whole 9 yards, the coach pulled him aside. "You're starting." That quarterback led his team to victory and earned Player of the Game honors. But here's what the roaring crowd didn't know. The real victory had already happened months earlier, in the silent battlefield of his own mind, when he decided to stop running from his fears. Beating the opposing team? That was the easy part compared to conquering himself. That young man was Sean Covey, and he discovered something profound that day. Private victories always come before public victories. Covey went on to write a guide for young people that sold millions of copies and become a lifeline for teens navigating the chaos of adolescence. It's called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens, based on his father Stephen R. Covey's legendary work but translated for a new generation. Today we're diving into that roadmap together. By the end, you'll understand 7 principles that have helped millions of young people take control of their lives, strengthen their relationships, and build futures that actually matter to them. This isn't some fluffy self-help stuff about getting better grades or climbing the social ladder. This is about winning the most important battle you'll ever face, the one with yourself. So where do we start? With a mind-bending idea. The way you see the world isn't necessarily how the world actually is. It's just your version of reality. Think of it like wearing glasses. If the lenses are scratched or the prescription is wrong, everything looks distorted. Covey calls these glasses our paradigms. Our point of view, our frame of reference, our beliefs about how things work. And honestly, our paradigms are often wildly inaccurate, creating invisible walls that trap us. Consider some hilariously wrong paradigms from history. Experts once declared, there is no reason for any individual to have a computer in their home. Someone predicted, man will never reach the moon. And here's my favorite. A record company in 1962 rejecting a new band. We don't like their sound. Groups of guitars are on the way out. Yeah, that band was the Beatles. These statements sound ridiculous now, but people believed them completely. We do the same thing. We tell ourselves stories like, nobody in my family has ever gone to college. I'd be nuts to think I could make it. Or, she's so gorgeous, she's probably stuck up. Or, you can't succeed unless you know the right people. These are just paradigms, warped glasses, and they shape our entire reality. Believe you're not smart? That belief will sabotage you. Convinced you can't get along with your stepdad? You probably never will. What you see is what you get. This is especially powerful when it comes to how you see yourself. Let me tell you about Linda. In high school, she had rock-bottom self-esteem. When a sign-up sheet for the Miss Madison pageant got passed around, her friend Rebecca pushed her to enter. Linda's response? "Oh no, I couldn't do that. I'm not that kind of person." But Rebecca wouldn't let up, and eventually Linda caved just to get some peace. The next day she tried to withdraw, but the director insisted she stay. Reluctantly, Linda went through with it, and that single decision changed everything. By forcing herself onto a stage that demanded her best, she started seeing herself differently. She didn't win any awards, but she conquered something bigger, her crappy self-image. She experienced what Covey calls a paradigm shift, like ripping off those warped glasses, smashing them on the ground, and trying on a new pair. The following year, she became a student body officer and developed a vibrant, confident personality. So how do you fix a warped view of yourself? How do you build genuine self-worth? Covey introduces a brilliant metaphor, the personal bank account, or PBA for short. Think of it as your self-esteem account, representing how much you trust and believe in yourself. Keep promises to yourself? That's a deposit. Break them? That's a withdrawal. A healthy PBA means you stand up for yourself, you're not desperate for approval, and you trust your own judgment. A depleted PBA means you fold under peer pressure, get jealous when others succeed, and act arrogant to mask your insecurities. The good news? You can build this account, one small deposit at a time. The book outlines 6 key strategies. First, keep promises to yourself. When you say you'll wake up at 6 tomorrow, actually do it. Start small with promises you know you can keep. Each time you follow through, you build self-trust. Cha-ching, another deposit. Second, do small acts of kindness. When you help someone else, it shifts your focus outward instead of inward. It's hard to feel lousy about yourself when you're making someone else's day better. Covey shares a story about being at an airport with a first-class ticket. He noticed a struggling young mother with a crying baby in multiple bags. His conscience nudged him, and he offered to swap his cushy first-class seat for her coach seat. Watching her and her baby sleeping peacefully in that roomy seat made him feel, in his words, like $1,000,000. Third, be gentle with yourself. Don't demand perfection. Learn to laugh at your ridiculous moments. Forgive yourself when you mess up. We all drag around barnacles, past mistakes and regrets. You've got to let them go and give yourself another shot. Fourth, be honest in your actions and with yourself. As Judy Garland said, always be a first-rate version of yourself, instead of a second-rate version of somebody else. Every act of honesty deposits into your PBA. Fifth, renew yourself. Everyone needs a secret garden, a place to escape and recharge. Maybe it's your bedroom, a quiet park, or the empty school auditorium. It's about carving out me time to restore your spirit. And finally, sixth, tap into your talents. Everyone has one, though it might not be flashy like being a star athlete. Maybe you're an amazing listener, or you crack people up, or you have a gift for drawing. Developing a talent is one of the most powerful deposits you can make. The book tells an incredible story about a guy named Bryce Thatcher. As a kid, he was a phenomenal baseball player until a tragic gun accident damaged his vision in one eye. He lost his depth perception and couldn't hit the ball anymore. His confidence crashed. Living near the Teton Mountains, he decided to try climbing. Turns out he had serious talent for it. He trained obsessively, and eventually, a friend challenged him to go after the speed record for climbing the Grand Teton. He met the guy who held the record, a superhuman climber who literally laughed at Bryce's small frame, but that just fueled his fire. On August 26, 1981, Bryce ran to the top of the Grand Teton and back in 3 hours, 47 minutes, and 4 seconds, absolutely crushing the old record. Years later, someone broke his record, so 2 years to the day, after his first record-breaking run, he did it again, beating the new record by nearly 25 minutes. His weakness, his eye injury, forced him to discover a new path, and in the process, he developed discipline and strength he never knew existed. His weakness became his strength. Building this personal bank account, strengthening how you see yourself, this is the foundation. Covey calls it the private victory, and it's where the first 3 habits live. Habit 1 is be proactive. This is the bedrock principle. It says, I am the force. I'm the captain of my life. I'm in the driver's seat. It's understanding that you're responsible for your own happiness or misery. There are 2 types of people, reactive and proactive. Reactive people are like a can of soda. Shake them up, and the pressure builds until they explode. They blame everything on their parents, teachers, friends, the weather, anything except themselves. Their vocabulary is packed with phrases like, I have to, I can't, or you ruined my day. They've handed the remote control of their life to someone else. Proactive people are like a bottle of water. Shake them all you want, but when you open the cap, nothing happens. They're calm, cool, collected. They know they can't control everything that happens, but they can absolutely control how they respond. They use language like, I choose to, I can, and let's explore our options. They take ownership. A powerful concept here is the circle of control. Imagine 2 circles. The inner circle contains things you can control. Your attitude, your choices, your responses. The outer circle contains things you can't control. The weather, past mistakes, how others treat you. Reactive people waste energy on the circle of no control, which only makes them feel more like victims. Proactive people focus their energy on their circle of control. To be proactive, we have 4 human power tools that animals don't possess. Self-awareness, the ability to step back and observe your own thoughts and actions. Conscience, that inner voice distinguishing right from wrong. Imagination, the ability to envision possibilities beyond your current reality. And willpower, the power to choose. When you're in a tough situation, you can hit a pause button. Instead of reacting instantly, you pause. In that space, you can use your 4 power tools to choose a proactive response. This ability to choose separates us from animals. It's our superpower. Once you embrace proactivity, you're ready for habit 2. Begin with the end in mind. Habit 1 says you're the driver. Habit 2 says, since you're driving, decide where you want to go and create a map. Imagine getting a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle. You dump out all the pieces, but when you look at the box for the picture, it's completely blank. How could you possibly assemble it? That's life without an end in mind. This isn't about planning every detail of your future right this second. It's about thinking beyond today and knowing what general direction you're heading. Why does this matter? First, because you're at a critical crossroads. The paths you choose now, about friends, school, relationships, values, can impact you forever. You're free to choose your path, but you can't choose the consequences. Second, if you don't decide your future, someone else gladly will. Your friends, your parents, social media, they'll all happily draw up a blueprint for your life. but is it the life you actually want? The most powerful way to begin, with the end in mind, is creating a personal mission statement. This is your personal motto, your credo. It's like a constitution for your life, declaring what you're about and what you stand for. It's like a tree with deep roots. When life storms hit, and they absolutely will, your mission statement is the immovable trunk you can cling to. To write one, you need to connect with what truly matters to you. What are your talents? What inspires you? Who do you admire? The book has a wonderful exercise called The Great Discovery to help with this. But don't obsess over making it perfect. Just start. It can be a collection of quotes, a poem, or even a single word. The only question that matters is, does this inspire me? With your mission in place, you can set goals. Goals are the specific steps that help you live your mission. The book offers 5 keys to effective goal setting. 1. Count the cost. What will achieving this goal require? Are you willing to pay that price? 2. Put it in pen. An unwritten goal is just a wish. Writing it makes it real. 3. Just do it. There's a time for I'll try and a time for I will. When you fully commit, you unlock power you didn't know existed. 4. Use momentous moments. Harness the energy of new beginnings, a new school year, a new job, even a setback, to set goals. 5. Rope up. Borrow strength from others. Share your goals with friends, family, or mentors who can support you. This brings us to the final habit of the private victory. Habit 3. Put first things first. This is the habit of willpower and won't power. It's about reaching your destination without letting obstacles knock you off course. To understand this habit, Covey introduces the time quadrants. Everything we do falls into one of 4 categories based on 2 factors. Whether it's urgent, in your face, demanding immediate attention, or important, contributing to your mission and goals. Quadrant 1 is the procrastinator. Activities here are both urgent and important. Crises, looming deadlines, cramming for tests. Living here leads to stress and burnout. Quadrant 3 is the yes man. Activities here are urgent but not important. Unimportant calls, constant interruptions, trying to please everyone. This quadrant is deceptive because urgent things feel important. Living here makes you feel like a doormat. Quadrant 4 is the slacker. Activities here are neither urgent nor important. Too much TV, endless scrolling, time wasters. This is the quadrant of waste. Quadrant 2 is the prioritizer. Activities here are important, but not urgent. This is the quadrant of excellence. It includes planning ahead, building relationships, exercise, and doing homework on time. The key to effective time management is spending more time in Quadrant 2. How? By shrinking the other quadrants. Procrastinate less. Learn to say no to unimportant things and cut down on slacker activities. The most powerful tool for this is weekly planning. Take 15 minutes each week to identify your big rocks, your most important tasks. Then schedule those first. The smaller things, the pebbles, will fill in around them. If you dump the pebbles in first, the big rocks will never fit. But habit 3 is more than time management. It's also about overcoming fear and peer pressure. It's about stepping out of your comfort zone and into your courage zone. Your comfort zone is safe and risk-free. But your potential, your opportunities, and all your growth live in the courage zone. As hockey legend Wayne Gretzky said, you miss 100% of the shots you never take. You have to learn to be strong in hard moments, those times when you must choose between doing the right thing and the easier thing. Saying no when everyone around you is saying yes takes incredible courage. But that won't power is a massive deposit into your personal bank account. And that completes the private victory. Once you've made progress mastering yourself, you're ready for the public victory, the journey of winning with others. This journey starts with another bank account metaphor, the relationship bank account, or RBA. This represents the amount of trust and confidence in each of your relationships. Like any bank account, you can make deposits or withdrawals. A strong relationship is built through steady deposits over time. There are 6 key deposits you can make into anyone's RBA. Keep promises. Do what you say you'll do. Breaking a promise is a huge withdrawal. This is especially true with parents. When they trust you, everything flows better. Do small acts of kindness. In relationships, little things are the big things. A hello, a compliment, a hug. As Mark Twain said, I can live for 2 months on a good compliment. Be loyal. Stick up for people, especially when they're not around. When you gossip, you make withdrawals from everyone who hears you, because they know you'll do the same to them. Listen, this is one of the greatest deposits you can make. People need to be heard almost as much as they need food. Say you're sorry. It takes guts to admit you were wrong, but an apology can quickly restore an overdrawn account. Don't let pride stand in the way. Set clear expectations. Avoid sending mixed messages or implying things that aren't true. Upfront honesty builds trust. These deposits lay the foundation for the next 3 habits, which are all about relationships. Habit 4 is think win-win. This is an attitude declaring, I can win, and so can you. It's not me or you, it's both of us. This is revolutionary in a world that often teaches us to think win-lose. Win-lose, or the totem pole mentality, says success is a pie and if you get a big slice, there's less for me. It's competitive and pride-driven. You see it in schools with forced grading curves, in sports, and even in friendships when jealousy creeps in. Lose-win is the doormat syndrome. Walk all over me. I don't matter. It's being the peacemaker at all costs, caving to peer pressure, and burying your true feelings. Lose-lose is the downward spiral. If I'm going down, you're coming with me. It's revenge, warfare, and toxic relationships where both people end up miserable. Win-win, however, is the all-you-can-eat buffet. There's plenty of success for everyone. To think this way, you first need to win the private victory. Insecure people can't handle others. Success. You also need to avoid the tumor twins, competing and comparing. Competition is healthy when it pushes you to be your best, not when you tie your self-worth to beating someone else. And comparing yourself to others is unwinnable, because we're all on different timetables. The only meaningful comparison is you against your own potential. This leads to the habit that makes win-win possible. Habit 5. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. This is the secret to communication. The deepest human need is to be understood. People won't open up unless they feel you genuinely want to hear them without judgment. But most of us are terrible listeners. We practice one of 5 poor listening styles. Spacing out. Our mind wanders elsewhere. Pretend listening. We say, yeah, cool, but we're mentally absent. Selective listening. We only tune in to parts that interest us. Word listening. We hear words but miss body language, tone, and real meaning. Self-centered listening. We filter everything through our own perspective, always judging, advising, or probing. Genuine listening is different. It requires 3 things. First, listen with your eyes, heart, and ears. Only 7% of communication is words. The rest is body language and tone. Second, stand in their shoes. Try to see the world through their eyes. Third, practice mirroring. Repeat back, in your own words, what they're saying and feeling. Not mimicking like a parrot, but reflecting. For example, if your friend says school is killing me right now, don't respond with, "You should study more." Say, "Sounds like school is really overwhelming for you right now." This simple act makes people feel heard and valued. Once you've truly understood the other person, then, and only then, can you effectively seek to be understood. This requires courage. You have to be willing to share your feelings, even with parents. If you've taken time to listen to them, you'll be amazed at how much more willing they are to listen to you. When you combine the win-win attitude of Habit 4 with the genuine listening of Habit 5, you create the magic of Habit 6, synergize. Synergy is when two or more people work together to create something better than either could alone. It's not your way or my way. It's a better, higher way. It's 1 + 1 = 3, or 10, or 100. Nature is packed with synergy. Geese flying in V formation can fly 71% farther than a single goose flying solo. The foundation of synergy is celebrating differences. The world is a melting pot of cultures, races, ideas, and personalities. You can shun diversity, tolerate it, or celebrate it. Celebrators value differences. They recognize that two people who think differently can achieve more than two people who think alike. To reach synergy, the book provides a simple action plan. 1. Define the problem or opportunity. 2. Their way. Seek first to understand their ideas and feelings. 3. My way. Seek to be understood by sharing your ideas and feelings. 4. Brainstorm. Create new options and ideas together. Get creative and don't criticize. 5. The highway. Find the best solution that both of you feel great about. This process transforms conflicts from confrontations into creative cooperation. Finally, we arrive at the habit that keeps all the others alive. Habit 7. Sharpen the saw. Imagine a guy furiously sawing down a tree. You ask how long he's been at it. 4 hours, he gasps, drenched in sweat. You notice his saw is completely dull. Why don't you take a break and sharpen it? You suggest. I can't, he replies. I'm too busy sawing. We're often like that guy. We're too busy living to invest time in renewing ourselves. Habit 7 is about taking a time out to sharpen your 4 key dimensions: your body, your brain, your heart, and your soul. Sharpen your body. Eat healthy, sleep enough, and exercise. The goal isn't looking like an airbrushed magazine model. Those images aren't even real. The goal is feeling good. And be smart. Stay away from addictions like drugs, alcohol, and tobacco. They promise freedom but deliver slavery. Sharpen your brain. Your education unlocks your future. Read everything. Let the world be your classroom. Don't let school interfere with your education. Grades matter, but true learning matters more. As the saying goes, the person who doesn't read is no better off than the person who can't. Sharpen your heart. This means renewing your emotional side by making deposits in your personal and relationship bank accounts. And don't forget to laugh. Laughter reduces stress, helps you cope, and connects you with others. A kindergartner laughs about 300 times a day. The average adult, only 17. We need to unlearn being so serious. Sharpen your soul. This is your private sanctuary. It's about feeding that inner self that gives you purpose and peace. You can do this by getting back to nature, keeping a journal, meditating, praying, or listening to inspiring music. Be mindful of your spiritual diet, the media you consume. What you listen to, read, and watch becomes part of you. Sharpening the saw isn't a luxury, it's essential. Push too hard for too long and you'll burn out. The time you invest in yourself pays back tenfold, because when you return to your life, you'll cut that much faster. As we step back and look at this entire framework, from seeing through clear paradigms to sharpening our saw, a powerful message emerges. Your life is your own creation. It's not something that happens to you. It's something that flows from you. The brilliance of Sean Covey's work is its simplicity and deep respect for the teenage experience. It doesn't talk down to you. It acknowledges the immense pressures you face, the jungle, as he calls it, but refuses to see you as a victim. Instead, it hands you a compass and map and says, you are the leader of your own life. You are the force. The most powerful lesson, for me, is the concept that private victory comes before public victory. We live in a world obsessed with the external, likes, followers, grades, trophies. We're taught to focus on the public victory. But this book reminds us that all of that is hollow and ultimately unsustainable without a strong internal foundation. You cannot build strong relationships with others if your relationship with yourself is weak. You cannot think win-win if you feel like you're losing inside. You cannot truly listen to another person if your own inner world is filled with noise and insecurity. This is timeless truth. The most effective people in any field are those with a strong inner core of character, integrity, and self-awareness. So what can you do with this right now, today? You don't have to tackle all 7 habits at once. That would be overwhelming. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Here are a few simple ideas. First, for the next week, just notice your language. Catch yourself when you say things like, I have to, or he makes me so mad. Just for a moment, try rephrasing it in your mind. I choose to, or I'm choosing to feel mad. Just noticing this shift can be revolutionary. Second, identify one big rock for this week. Just one. What's the single most important thing you need to do? Maybe it's studying for a big test, having an important conversation with a parent, or finishing a college application. Whatever it is, schedule a specific time to do it, and honor that appointment as if it were the most important one of the week. Because it is. And third, make one small deposit into a relationship that matters to you. It could be listening, really listening, to a friend for 10 minutes without interrupting, or doing a chore for your parents without being asked, or simply telling someone why you appreciate them. These small steps, repeated over time, build an extraordinary life. This book isn't a magic wand, it's a set of tools. The real work and the real adventure is learning to use them. As the book beautifully reminds us, your destiny is yet to be determined. Why not make it extraordinary? Keep hope alive. Because, as Dr. Seuss promised, kid, you'll move mountains. That was a summary of the 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens by Sean Covey. We've explored the core ideas today, but honestly, a summary can only ever be a glimpse through a keyhole. The real power of a book like this comes from the stories, the details, and the quiet moments of reflection that happen when you're turning the pages yourself. This overview is designed to help you decide if this journey is one you want to take. If anything we've discussed has sparked something in you, I genuinely encourage you to pick up a copy. Reading it isn't just about learning concepts. It's an experience that can shift how you see yourself, your challenges, and your future. A link to the book is in the description below. Also, if you found this summary valuable, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. That way, you won't miss our next exploration into another life-changing book. Let's keep learning and growing together.